Get ready to go for all adventures. Presenting the Toyota Wigo. Like what you see? The Wigo's overall design has been updated to look sportier and advanced. Its enhanced exterior allows the Wigo to sport a stronger, dynamic front face, giving your ride some flair to its function. For that added edge on the road, these side design features create an expanded body appearance and center of gravity. When we go for sport, we go all out with Toyota Racing Development Design. Inspired by peak racing technology, innovation, and driven to higher performance, the TRD S package reinforces the Wigo's sporty physique to elevate your everyday drive. And adding to the existing color lineup is this stunning new yellow, radiating excitement at every angle. And because your safety on the road is a top priority, the Wigo is also equipped with safety features so you feel secure during your drive. The overall sporty accents remain consistent even as you enter the car. But the Wigo's beauty is more than meets the eye. Inside, it's well equipped with advanced features that not only look sleek, but also offers you a new level of convenience. Carefully designed so you can find everything within your reach, and often just a simple push of a button. So you can feel cool and confident as you go the distance. Exciting and sporty, giving you comfort as well as security. The Wigo aims to make your passion for life and for fun accessible and affordable. Now there's only one thing we can do with something this good. We go for it. The Toyota Wigo.
All right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the debut episode of Mobility in the New Normal. This is a three-part series of webinars on the local auto industry in the age of the pandemic. This project is powered by the Philippine Stars Wheels, and we'd like to thank our friends from Toyota Motor Philippines Corporation for sponsoring this debut episode. Thanks also to our media partner, Business World Velocity. I am Cap Maceda Aguila, editor of Business World Velocity and columnist of the Philippine Stars Wheels. I will be your host and moderator tonight, and so we've got lots of ground to cover. During the early days of the novel coronavirus, when it wasn't even called COVID-19 yet, hardly anyone could have predicted it would reach the pandemic levels of today. But here we are, and the disruption has been felt across as well a whole spectrum of industries. One of the industries hardest hit is the automotive sector. Along with shuttering manufacturing plants and dealerships, vehicles also stopped running altogether because, people just stayed at home to help curb the spread of the virus. The result? Well, I want you to look at this slide called from the recent joint reports compiled by the Chamber of Automotive Manufacturers of the Philippines and the Truck Manufacturers Association. Total vehicle sales in March for CAMPI and TMA member companies reached 11,029 units, down 63% compared to a figure of 29,790 units sold in March 2019. CAMPI President Attorney Romel Gutierrez attributed this to the shutdown of dealerships in the second half of March as Luzon went into ECQ lockdown. In April, the figure dropped to an all-time low of 133 units sold, and you can see that here, a very, very small blue area that's beside the green one. Imagine 133 vehicles across all the member companies of CAMPI and TMA. Now, last May, that figure leveled to a more respectable 4,788 units, representing 3,500% in growth. But that's deceiving because that's still a far cry from the 30,998 units sold in the same month of last year. That's a huge 84.6% decline if you compare it to last year's number during the same period. And for your reference, if we look at the year-to-date sales of as of last month, there were 69,463 units sold this year. That is 51.1% lower compared to the same period in 2019. Now, while these figures taken as a whole paint a grim, albeit expected, snapshot of the year thus far, there is reason to hope. And that's because while we've learned that NCR will still be on general community quarantine until at least the end of this month, car dealerships have resumed operations for a while now. And car companies and dealerships do not exist in a vacuum. And they've been adjusting to the challenges and limitations in support of government regulations amid the virus. With that, let's get right to it because, well, we have a lot of ground to cover tonight. And I am very honored to introduce our panelists. I am joined today by four excellent panelists who will help us get a clear understanding of how the auto industry was affected by the lockdown, how it's coping in this new normal, and more importantly, what we can expect moving forward. May I present to you in alphabetical order? First, Mr. Vincent Licup, dealer principal handling the Chery, Chevrolet, Photon, MG, and Nissan brands. Next is Mr. Atsuhiro Okamoto, president of the country's leading auto company, Toyota Motor Philippines Corporation, or TMP. Then we have Mr. Cholo Siquia, chief executive officer of Carbay Philippines Incorporated, which operates the Car Moody Philippines and Zigwheels Philippines auto portals. And last but not the least, we have Mr. Willie T. Ten, the president of the Auto Hub group of companies, which features at least 34 automotive and ancillary brands. He is also the president of the Philippine Automotive Dealers Association, which represents around 200 dealerships around the country. Now, like that Sound of Music song goes, the beginning is a very good place to start. So, first, Okamoto-san, let me congratulate you and the rest of TMP for the successful launch of the new Wigo, which we saw again like before this webinar. This is the first digital launch under your not so new normal. Now, let's start it off by, I'd like to ask you, for the benefit of everyone who's watching now, how was Toyota's business affected when government first put much of the country on lockdown? Can you give us an idea of the impact on sales and your people when work from home suddenly became, well, the only option?
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm Okamoto, the Toyota Motor Philippines. First of all, the impact of the COVID-19, our market projection, 30 to 40% decline versus last year. But actually, after transit to GCQ, I restarted the dealer visit. Dealer principal projection is more conservative. There is a bit gap, but how to consider the impact of COVID-19? I'm now watching the global Toyota situation, China or US or Japan. But China is very early recovery. The almost same 100% versus last year. The US or Europe or Japan, 20% decline. The other region, Asia or Middle East, or some other country, the 40% decline versus last year. But depending on the region or country, the recovery speed is a bit different. But in Asia, in Philippine case, the including my hope, the 30% or to 40%, the I hope 40% as bottom line. That is our projection.
Okay. Now, of course, everyone knows that Toyota Motor Philippines is just one of two companies which are involved in the CARS, or the Comprehensive Automotive Resurgence Strategy, which entails manufacturing. Can you tell us how the lockdown had affected your Santa Rosa plant?
Yes,
I know
yes.
we had calls before, and
Yes.
you said that it was completely shut down. Like
Yeah, yeah.
what about your workers? Maybe can you give us a sense of how the plant is doing these days, and has is it running again?
Yes, our Santa Rosa plant was shut down after March 17th. The almost 2 months, the totally closed. The middle of May, we restarted the plant operation gradually. But actually, the production volume is still limited, gradually increasing, but still limited. Now, only one shift is operated. Actually, team members come to the plant working on site. But as I mentioned, still the operating ratio is very low. So some member is now engaged in the product producing the mask or face shield. The PPE we now produce until the recovery of the production volume.
Did you have to lay off workers at Santa Rosa?
Yes, sorry.
Did you have to lay out some workers in Santa Rosa because of what
No
happened?
layoff, no layoff, no layoff.
Oh, that's
Of course,
very
no
good to know.
layoff.
Okay,
Of
okay, very
course.
good. Now, Willie, can you answer the same question first? Wearing your AutoHub group hat, I want to ask you, how are things at in your group? It's a very large group, and how are you guys during this entire lockdown? First, during that time, how were you guys able to deal with what happened? That everyone suddenly forced to work from home. Willie, hello.
Um, Good evening, Cap.
Okay.
Good evening,
Okay.
everyone. As far as the dealerships are concerned, of course, we had to follow the government regulations to to stay at home. So all the dealerships were closed from March 17 until May 15. So we operated starting May 16, and even during that time, very few people would come to the showroom. So as far as the dealerships are concerned, there's always this adjustment to the new normal. Um, a lot of PPEs have to be done, or all the normal procedures given by the government. We have to do it, and this is not only for the protection of the customers, but also to the protection of our employees. Um, there are two sides of the coin to look into here, to be optimistic and to be pessimistic. No, so we need to be realistic and understand that since automotive sector has been affected by this pandemic, we need to adjust our manpower as well. No, some would have to come in only 50% of the time, because even showroom walk-ins have been reduced drastically, and a lot of the selling would be done online. So almost all our salespeople can work from home and do social media and online selling. So service, on the other hand, has picked up once the ECQ was lifted, and we transferred to GCQ. So service is not yet back to pre pandemic times, But at least our after sales department is continually doing its part to do some work. No, sales is the biggest concern right now, especially with the support of the banks. No, the banks are key to the automotive industry, and we're hoping that the banks will be more relaxed and less stringent when it comes to approvals, so that we as automotive dealers can increase our sales figures for the next few months until things go back to normal.
Okay, well said. Now you mentioned something about banks. That's something that I've heard Vince talk about before. Vincent, from your like at your level, at the dealership level, did you notice a difference in how you are handling five different brands? Are you seeing how, or did you see the difference, or probably the similarities in how these brands dealt with the lockdown?
Actually, all brands right now is going through social media. That's one common thing for all of us, all the brands. So everybody's going through online. So I think that's the only channel realistically to reach sales right now, because again, as Willie said, our sales executives are all work at home. So but advantage is before customers has traffic to attend with, customers has needs to have face-to-face encounter with our agents. So there's limited engagement. Right now, because of the social media, one agent can have an easy 10, 20 customers a day, talking to 10, 20 customers a day. So that's the advantage.
So it's actually the digital platform is actually you're really getting a multiplier effect from it.
Yes, I think because before it's really hard to do visits face to face and office visits, but now with your fingertips you could talk to customers. So that's I think the advantage right
Okay.
now.
Okay. Now, Cholo, your business is different in that you don't have a physical dealership. You don't have a brick and mortar dealership or showroom. Uh, Maybe can you also answer the question? I mean, how was business uh, impacted by the lockdown? And also, tell us please what does Carbay Philippines actually do, or its portals actually do? What kind of business do they do?
Hi, Cap. Yeah, practically, we were also affected though because our platforms is a reflection of the market, meaning the buyers and the sellers, which are typically the dealers. So obviously, when the market has shut down when it comes to dealerships, we still continue to get the leads, but we could not deliver the buyers to the dealerships as they were still closed. So we were also affected in a way where we have a volume of traffic that we could not connect to our dealer partners then. And obviously, we wanted to support our dealer partners. So we had to, for subscription packages that we had to put it on the hold to somehow support our partners. And now that they're opening up, we're quite happy that we have our buyers we have our partners now to endorse too. The buyers obviously had decreased over the past few months in terms of interest, but the traffic and the browsing and the research of vehicles have continued to go the past 3 months.
Uh-huh. Now, let's go back to when it was first everything was first shut down. Did you in Carmudi and Zigwheels, did you notice an increase in traffic? Because of course everyone was now forced to stay at home, go online. I want to see if there was a pattern that people gravitated towards your digital platform.
Actually, the timing of COVID hit us at a very critical time. So right before COVID, around March, was when we became the number one auto platform in the country. Um, After that, the lockdown happened, and we were able to somehow maintain the traffic. We were hoping for a bigger increase around that time, but our traffic actually maintained and plateaued. We have also seen a shift of people's interest. So people now spend a lot more time in researching, reading the news, updates on automotive industry, on cars, rather than actual inquiries. And it's only been lately where we've been getting a lot more inquiries.
All right. Now I see a pattern here that, of course, everyone was hard hit by the when the lockdown first happened, and still there were opportunities, to be had, or people just had to dig in. You guys just had to dig in. Now I want to move from that hard lockdown, as they called it before, to a post ECQ normal. This is basically the normal that we have now. We're on GCQ, right? When the quarantine levels or the quarantine restrictions were first relaxed, uh, how did you guys? Can you walk us through how you guys opened? I know that Willie mentioned earlier that sanitation protocols. I want Vince. Can you give us like on the ground? If I am a car buyer, interested car buyer, or even someone who needs to have his vehicle serviced, what would I expect if I go to any one of your showrooms right now? What are the changes that would be immediately obvious?
I think the normal or the alcohols, the mask, the distancing stickers. We're now promoting also contactless payments. And of course, in service, we are now basically very strict. We want everything by appointment.
Mhm. And how have your customers reacted to these changes? Of course, I'm sure they're understanding of it, but is there like a not really resistance, but maybe do they feel it's how this disconcerting, or they don't feel comfortable doing it, or it's an unnecessary added step probably? I mean, what's the experience like for someone who doesn't know how it is to go into a dealership right now? Is it jarring?
I, in our part so far, no one's complaining. Everybody's happy because no one's waiting right now. Unlike before, there's walk-ins, there's appointments, so customers has to wait. Right now, no waiting because it's already appointment. Your parts, your mechanic, your service base are all ready. So
Can you
people
say
are,
it's more efficient now then, in a way?
yes, the right word, efficient.
Okay. Willie, how has the game plan changed in this new normal? How do you explain to your people in the Auto Hub group, like, how are we going to conduct business now? What are we supposed to feel? Actually, that's the term. What are we supposed to feel during this new normal? Are we supposed to be afraid for our jobs? I mean, how do you explain this to your people? I think Willie's having a problem with this audio.
Hi. Sorry,
Okay,
that
there.
was
Okay.
muted. Um, the difference before is when people come in, you smile and shake their hands. Now you cannot do that anymore. They have to be wearing face masks. Sometimes you won't even recognize them because of the face mask, and at the same time, they have to go through the procedure, the alcohol, the temperature scanners, and of course, they have to go through the floor mat, and of course, those are the things that makes it a little different now. And even for service, you have to sanitize the vehicle. You have contactless payment, just like what Vince just mentioned, and of course, appointments. We're lucky that we introduced our AutoHub mobile app last December, and that comes into a fantastic advantage for us right now, because people who wants to set an appointment just uses the mobile app. So, and for our employees, they just need to be conscious of all these things to keep the distance, because the distance is the biggest concern. Filipinos would normally love to stay close to the customer and everything else, but now everything has a distance. So those are the things that are very important. We have to keep on reminding because sometimes we forget. So and even our security guards need to be reminded most of the time.
Are you implementing shifting also in the offices?
Oh yes, yeah, because of the volume that has shrunk. Uh, we have implemented some of our employees come in 3 days a week. Depends on the position. Of course, the technicians are the one that has to come in all the time. We're more conscious about cost nowadays. Everything should we should try to cut as much cost as possible. Sometimes it's good that the rainy season is here. We don't need to use too much air conditioning, and of course. Uh, Basically the customer needs to feel that they're being protected as well.
Okay. Now, Okamoto-san, I was in a couple of Zoom meetings with you, no, with Toyota
Yes,
Motor
yes.
Philippines
Yeah.
executives,
Mm.
and one of the things that struck me was what your chairman, Mr. Alfred T, said that during that time we were still on ECQ, but he said then that even if the quarantine was relaxed, the TMP will not be rushing into bringing all of its people to the office. Of course, he was aware of the dangers and the threats. What are the changes done? I mean, I'm talking now not of dealerships, but maybe your head offices, maybe in Makati or in Santa Rosa. What are the measures that you've been doing there? Willie was mentioning, yes, shifting. There are shifting, and of course distancing. What kind of how does it look like in your office now?
We have two offices, as you mentioned, the GT Tower and the Santa Rosa. Regarding GT Tower office, the working on-site is still limited. Maybe below 30% or around 20%. Manager is coming on-site, but team member, majority is still working from home for GT Tower workers. Employees and a team member in Santa Rosa, of course, the team member in manufacturing working on site, but office workers, the still below 50% the on site, 60% or 70% still working from home, and we introduced the shift by week or by 2 week, and still. In order to keep the social distancing, such a lower working on-site ratio.
Mhm. Was it easy for your you have a big organization, of course.
Yes.
Was it easy for Toyota, for TMP to switch into work from home mode during when when the lockdown first happened? Was it easy to switch to that?
Actually, the some job, like a planning job, they're still available working from home. But more sales and service front line, the very closely working with dealership. Such a job, if possible, more the working on site. But still under GCQ, the myself visit several dealers, but our team members, marketing members, still reduce or less visit to dealer still, keeping the working at the office or home. But some job is available working from home, especially planning. And taking this opportunity, the job style should be changed, more efficient. We are now trying that. But some job, especially the frontline related job, I hope the COVID situation is reduced, infection is reduced, and more visit dealership more.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, now this is a pet peeve of mine when I hear the term post COVID-19 because we are not there yet. There is no such thing as a post COVID-19 age because we are still in that age, and as long as the virus is out there and we don't have a vaccine, then yes, the best course of action would be to limit interactions, to practice safe social distancing, and there's a new term that's coming out, of course. Well, it's not, it came out actually quite a while ago when the lockdown first happened, and that is digital. Digital will be saving us. This is as normal as we can get right now. Um, because, yes, as I said, if we go out there, if we go on a manyanita, then the virus will get us. Okay? Now, Cholo, digital is part of the new normal. I'm sure that sounds very good to you. But what are the challenges? Number one, challenges and opportunities that you see for Carbate Philippines in this new normal. I know the answer to this must be obvious. So maybe the question is, how much has digital traffic increased compared to before the pandemic? Now you have the benefit of a number of weeks, months actually, from that time that the lockdown happened. You think that people or Filipinos are more open to the idea of digital or to the platform of Carmudi and the Zigwheels?
So in general, first in the digital market, people have actually shifted a lot of their usual physical activities to digital. So we actually partnered with a research firm to conduct a study on this. And for example, for online payments, 58% of people have actually significantly increased their online payment transactions. Um, 51% of people have consumed online entertainment. 48% of people have increased their online food delivery use. And surprisingly, only on the fourth, online social media consumption increased. Um, Specifically to the auto industry, um, people actually prefer now a lot of as much of the car buying transaction to be shifted online. So, for example, 83% of the people in the study actually preferred to go through an online showroom where they could research their vehicle, they could talk to somebody online or on the phone, at least on a non face to face level. And they want to move as much of the steps further online. So people are now even looking into booking their test drives online, um, making their online bookings and reservations rather than physically going to a store. Specifically, that after having research on a specific vehicle that they would want. So I guess it's an opportunity for us, but at the same time, on the not really on the reservation part, not the whole industry has actually evolved to digital. Like for example, if you're applying for a loan, there are still bank regulations which require a lot of manual and physical processes. So banks have been trying to automate as much as they could, but we're still not at a level where I think it's going to be fully online.
Okay. Now, Vince, you narrated to me once how your dealerships have been leveraging Facebook in particular to present your offerings and to attract people. You told me before that that was a heartening experience, or that was very encouraging. Can you tell me more about this? Like, how have you prepared your people in the dealerships for this new normal? In addition to tell me about this Facebook thing. I'm very interested.
On our part, we really did not had any layoffs, only shifting. So it basically gave us savings. What we did is took advantage of the social media, meaning we gave allowance for all our agents to boost online. So before we were giving gasoline allowance, telecommunication allowance. Right now we're giving what we call boosting allowance for them to boost their pages or their selling channels online. And it's very, very surprising because those agents before that has what 3, 4, 5, 10 prospects per day suddenly right now has 10, 20, 30 prospects per day. When I say prospects, it's not the sure buyer. But again, prospect always, you have the chance to always convert it to sales. So at least that's very, very positive for us.
Oh, it's good to know. Willie, I know that you guys opened the digital showroom for the mini brand recently. Are you planning on doing the same for the rest of your 33 other brands? So, tama, di ba? 34 brands in total. Tomorrow, 37 na ba?
Yeah, we have our mini online showroom, and we plan to do the same thing for the other brands, no. And actually, that's, I think, not only for the present but for the future. That's the way to go, no. Even as what you mentioned a while ago, digital platforms are something that we do on our own, and we, of course, we outsource it also to Carmudi and to everybody else, no? So that would be the trend, I think. That would be the new norm, and even online payments, just like what Vince mentioned a while ago. Customers do not really like to do online payments in the past, but now that's good thing for the dealerships that customers are now the ones telling us that they want to do online or bank-to-bank transactions, which is good for the dealership, no. So the only key that we want to really look into is basically uh, internet connectivity and speed, no, especially for the provinces wherein the internet the Wi-Fi are still weak, no, and I think that needs a lot of improvement, and we hope that that will be addressed by the telecoms companies.
Mhm. Now, earlier you mentioned your AutoHub app. Can you also explain that now again? How is that helping towards or towards promoting less contact in your dealerships?
Yeah, the AutoHub mobile app is actually more on the after sales side. No, we've started during the after sales by if instead of customers calling the dealership to set up appointments, they go through the mobile app and set the appointment, and then it's a work in progress. We've started it in December, and we're now in phase 3 of the upgrading of the mobile app. It also gives you an update on the status of the vehicle repair, and at the same time the next stage is already for online payment, like we've got the services of PayMongo, and that will be the way that customers will pay for their after sales services that they get from the AutoHub group.
Oh, nice. Okay. Okamoto-san, early in the
Yes.
lockdown early in the quarantine, the
Mm.
ECQ quarantine,
Mm.
TMP had already rolled out the My Toyota PH,
Yeah,
and
yes, yes.
fairly recently you also had your virtual showroom. Can you tell our
Yeah.
customers or your customers how can they benefit from these two innovations from Toyota?
Mm. Especially my Toyota Philippines, the it's very good effect for dealership for their operation. Now we recommend the appointment for the service customer. Actually, not 100%. Some walk-in customer still coming, but some dealers, thanks to the My Toyota Philippines application, the appointment ratio is dramatically increasing. The appointment ratio increase, and the more their service operation is standardized, more efficient, and also for customer, the waiting time is reduced. So such a the good effect is expanded thanks to the appointment for service customer by My Toyota Philippines application. And also digital showroom, we just started. Still under observation, but point is customer can see the vehicle exterior design and the feature, and also the interior design and the feature. On top of that, we want to add more information for digital showroom, like advanced technology, safety spec, or hybrid technology. Such a new technology, which a bit difficult to convey by catalog or sales store. Benefit of the digital showroom is customer can see the actual specification or function, how to work in the emergency timing, such a safety specification, how to work. Such a condition can customer can see on the screen. We need to more develop the such a digital showroom. Not only just showing a vehicle, but also convey the vehicle function, specification, advanced technology. Such an item to be increased in near future.
Has Toyota, do you know if Toyota Motor Corporation has rolled out the concept of a digital showroom in its other markets as well?
Yes, already. Some country already implemented.
Okay, thank you for that. Cholo, now it seems like the brands are getting into your territory, into digital. For Carmody and Zig Wheels, what are the opportunities that you see? How do you see the brand or the services, its suite of services evolving in this new normal? Like in the Beauty and the Beast, do you see something there that wasn't there before?
Well, for one, the interest is obviously there. So we've been actually approached by several brands and dealerships who are asking whatever we could implement now on the digital level. And there are two ways to approach this. So some brands and companies would have their own ready set technology for use. Our best support for them is to actually deliver the traffic to these platforms that they have. While there are other companies that do not want to invest internally on this technology, that's how we actually are able to help them as well. So we're able to build them these tools and at the same time drive traffic to them. So luckily, we are part of a global group that has been working in more advanced digital markets, and we have a robust list of solutions that we could actually provide. So ranging from, like what you said, the digital showrooms with 360 vehicle views, with an opportunity for a virtual live sales agent to actually walk through and assist car buyers. Obviously, the booking facilities, the scheduling facilities. So those are the solutions that we actually are able to provide now, especially that there is a demand and interest.
Okay. Now, let me go back to Okamoto-san.
Yes.
I was talking about opportunities with Cholo. Now, very significantly, Toyota has also sort of rolled out, well, not yet, just revealed maybe through a teaser, through Miss Tini. She mentioned Kinto. And then another program that you did roll out is the Toyota certified used vehicles. Is Toyota Motor Philippines seeing something maybe in your crystal ball that we are going to have an increase in demand for vehicles and the subscription option through Kinto? Can you talk to us about that?
Okay. Let me introduce briefly Kinto. Kinto is simply say the subscription service, like leasing, not finance leasing. All the service related to the car automotive life is included this Kinto package. This program or product is prepared, developed by Toyota Financial Service. In Philippine case, Toyota Finance, TFS Philippines provide this program. The purpose or vision of this Kinto implementation, that is, of course, not only in Asia country, starting from Japan and Europe or some other region. Already Kinto is implemented. Everyone say now automotive market is mainly the ownership market. Especially in Philippines, still people, especially younger people, want to own the vehicle. But actually, other region, the US or Europe or Japan, Japan still, for example, China. After Grab or Uber implementation, the customer automotive life is gradually changing. From such a ownership to usership, the usage. The Grab is a typical one. So we Toyota prepare for such a change. The customer, we should prepare all the service for automotive life, not only ownership but also such a usership. The Kinto is a kind of the method for appeal the customer who prefer usership automotive life. The very easy to pay. Payment is very easy. No down payment and fixed monthly subscription fee, and the service fee also included. The term is 3 years or 4 years, and customer, if prefer, change the vehicle after 3 years. After 3 years, 3 years usage. And used car business is very related to this Kinto business. Kinto means that is a usership for customer for prefer the usership. Vehicle, Kinto is one of the leasing system. The vehicle return is back to dealers or Toyota Finance. We should reuse the vehicle. The vehicle 3 years aged or 4 years aged, coming back from the leasing up customer, Kinto up customer, we reuse the vehicle for other customer. For example, used car Kinto. So I think we proceed Kinto implementation and simultaneously with Toyota certified used car TCUV business should be expanded. Such a ecosystem in Toyota dealers and Toyota Finance and Toyota Group company, the ecosystem we want to establish. Leasing, lease up, trading, retail sales, or used car leasing, used car Kinto. Such a ecosystem we want to create in near future in Philippines. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Willie, I'm sure you were listening to that. No, can we see maybe a leasing for your Rolls Royce anytime soon?
Anytime anybody wants to lease the Rolls Royce, no problem.
This is my question to you, Willie. Is Toyota is rolling out packages that are geared towards probably making the ownership or access to vehicles easier. Can you give us a sense of how the luxury market is these days? Is it even affected by everything that's going on? Are the rich people still buying nice cars from you?
That's a very, very difficult question to answer. No, actually, a lot of the ultra high segment has taken a back seat. No, of course, whether they have the funds or they don't have the funds, they take a back seat. No, because now is not the time to brag that they're buying a new car. No, of course, there are still some who do, but do it quietly. So there are industries that are doing well because of the pandemic, but of course most of them, or most of the industries, are not doing well. So so there's always going to be demand for the premium segment, but it has been reduced also, no, dramatically. And we need to wait until the economy recovers from this pandemic before the premium segment will grow back again. That's why if you look at the premium segment, there's a lot of promos going on right now. No, even our premium segment like Mini, Rolls Royce, we do get a lot of programs right now, and the ones that are who wants to buy now has the best deal because it's the best deal right now for the premium segment.
So it's a buyer's market.
Oh yes, definitely. For the premium segment, it's the buyer's market. Even for Toyota, for us, you know, the one that is selling very well are the lower end cars. No, the more expensive cars will slow down. For example, the Land Cruiser, the Prado, the Expedition, the Patrol. These will slow down. The cheaper cars are the ones that will really move right now.
Okay.
Am I correct,
You
Cholo?
also
Yes.
now, Willie, I'm everyone's aware that you guys also sell two-wheeled vehicles, motorcycles. Do you see a growth in motorcycle sales? Of course, your brands are also kind of on the higher side, right? But do you anticipate a growth in motorcycle
Oh,
sales?
this is one segment that I don't think was affected by the pandemic. No, our Vespa sales are going through the roof right now. Unbelievable, no? So a lot of people are doing are buying two wheels now. Maybe because there's less traffic as well, but at the same time, uh, I cannot explain why the two wheel vehicles are doing very well, but they are. Regardless whether it's the mass market or the premium segment, the interest for two wheels is growing.
Okay, thank you. Now, Vince, Willie said that there's a sweet spot for popular vehicles probably that will go off the shelves quicker. Now, you and I have been discussing this, and you mentioned to me a sweet spot of 1.3 million pesos and below. Can you explain to me why you're looking at this segment probably to generate the most in terms of moved units or sales?
On our dealerships, the vans, the pickups, the crossovers below 1.3 are the most inquired. And of course, we cannot also forget that the LDTs, the light trucks, are also selling good right now because of the logistics.
Correct.
So those are the units that's selling right now and most garners most interest.
Have you seen or have you heard of your clients downgrading for probably, let's say you heard them, okay, I want to buy a mid-sized SUV. And then when all of this happened, they said, I'm just going for a compact sedan. I mean, downgrading. Is that a real thing that people are shaping their or shaping their purchases because they are careful in this new normal?
I think people are still there. They still want to buy what they want. I think the banks are the one downgrading the amount finance. It's not the individual or the buyer. It's the banks.
Okay. So the banks, and this is something that really said earlier also, right? That the banks will be playing a crucial role as a partner of automotive growth. Is that something we can agree across the board?
Yes.
Yes. They're part of they are part of the ecosystem of the automotive business. Without the banks supporting the retail customers, who's gonna buy? 80% of the market here in the Philippines are financing.
Yes.
But if you're working for a bank, Vince, would you be this careful also, or would you say, hey, I mean, this is good. I want to do my share in jump starting this industry, and I think the Filipinos are good for it. I mean, they're gonna be responsible enough to pay me back. What
If
I want you to get into their heads, so to speak.
if you ask me, right now is the best time. The buyers right now are the ones who are smart buyers. They know what they need, and I think they won't buy a car after COVID without income. Number one, I think this is the best time.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
While everybody is
okay.
conservative, the banks who are aggressive would actually be the winners.
That's
And
true.
consumer lending is the highest. I think consumer lending is the highest yielding department of a bank. So I think this is the best bet. It's a good bet for the banks, the automotive industry.
Okay. Now,
I
Cholo,
think
you heard everyone here. They were saying, people are saying, okay, this is sort of what we can probably expect. Vince was saying, okay, 1.3 million and below. Do you have visibility on what people are browsing or checking out on Zigreals and Carmoody? And are you seeing something that we are not seeing? Is there a trend that we should be anticipating at the moment? There will be a surge in X category, for instance.
Actually, it's more of in parallel to what they were saying earlier. The interest now is have heavily shifted towards the lower priced vehicles, and similarly, the motorcycles have been really a growing market for us. We've been getting a lot of inquiries for motorcycles. Um, that's also a market that's heavily dependent on financing. So I hope that most financing partners can actually cater to this market as well. But aligned with everybody's observations, it's really the lower priced vehicles that are getting interest as of the moment.
Okay. Now we're going to the part where I entertain questions from our millions of viewers.
Mhm.
So we have a question here, and anyone can answer this. From Maan Pamaran, are we supposed to be afraid for spare parts? Or is it going to be a problem because of the pandemic? Who can answer this? And our service centers fully operational now? What kind of capacity are we looking at? Anyone?
um,
Answer?
um,
Maybe.
as for us, the spare parts are there. No? We don't have much issues with the parts as long as they're medium to fast moving parts. The slow moving parts are the ones that we need to. But again, even during or before the pandemic, the slow moving parts are the ones that that takes time, no. But other than that, I don't see any concerns right now with the parts. And of course, the after sales. I think all the dealerships are operational. Maybe not 100%, but they're operational. So because people do not go out of their house also, so less cars are being serviced. The only cars being serviced right now are because they're due already, and because some that were due in April and May, they had to have their car serviced in June now.
Okay. Anyone else want to answer that? Vince, are we?
We
Mr.
have
Okamoto.
ample stocks on our dealer. We have ample stocks, especially the PMS, general repairs, and all those collision parts. Don't be afraid. We have ample stocks. I think everyone has.
Okay. Okamoto-san, how about Toyota? Are your dealerships well stocked from north to south?
Yeah, in Toyota case, the basically the CKD model and the CBU model, both parts, is as Toyota Motor Philippines that keep the stock enough. And especially the some imported vehicle, imported parts, even though Philippines it's locked down for for 2 months, but the parts supply from Thailand or Indonesia, we have not stopped. And such a shipping is continued even under lockdown situation in Philippines. So both the domestic production and the imported parts, we have enough stock in distributor. And also delivery from distributor to dealer is very now smoothly proceeded. So no need to be worried.
That's good to know. That's good to know. Now, for everyone here, no, this was supposed to be a PIMS year or Philippine International Motor Show year, and this was also supposed. Well, of course, every year is Mia's year, and shout out to our friends Alvin and Jason out there. What we have another question from Sherilyn Ngo. What would be the alternative for motor shows such as Mia's or PIMS, which is organized by CAMPI, in order to attract buyers since mass gatherings are prohibited now and in the near future? Are we going to miss motor shows? I certainly do miss motor shows. I love covering motor shows and launches. But how about you guys from the dealer standpoint, from the brand standpoint? What do we do now?
The best answer that is Okamoto-san.
Yeah,
Okay, we give you the floor, Okamoto-san.
yeah. Such a event, motor show, is needed for both the OEM and the dealer, retail side, and also customer and the media. We missed the motor show in this timing, but after COVID is reduced, such a motor show is revived, I believe. So I'm not sure when is it possible to be held, but motor show in Philippines should be revived soon after COVID is declined. And instead of such a physical event, we are now planning many digital events, not only launch event, but also motorsports event or some others. For a while, as long as COVID infection is increasing, instead of physical event, we will prepare such a digital event instead of that. That is what we can do.
So for now, it's going to be digital. Now, Willie, sa dami ng brands nyo, you can stage an auto show just by yourself. So, do you have any plans in the future to? I mean, you did that before in BGC. We went there, you showcase all your nice vehicles from different brands. Are you planning to do something like that in the near future? Maybe digitally?
Digitally, yes, but actual motor show, everybody wants to have a motor show, but if you do a motor show now, who's gonna come? So mahirap, no? It's really hard, no? So everybody would want, like Okamoto-san said, we would love to have the motor show come back, but when? That the big question is when. I hope the vaccine comes to gets to be invented very, very soon. But right now, we'll have to stick with virtual launches and of course virtual motor shows. I don't know if that's possible. Maybe Cap, you can spearhead that, and we will all support that. Right? We have a virtual motor show.
Maybe Cholo can do that.
Sorry.
Actually, it has been done in other countries that we operate in. So that's actually a possibility that we can look into for the Philippines. A completely digital, virtual motor show.
All right.
Yes.
Well, very, very interesting here. Nagkakaroon tayo ng mga ideas, ha? Um, Another question, no? Well, this is your chance to pitch your brands. So we have a question here that any special promos in payment terms or price drop to boost sales. Earlier, really, you said it's a buyer's market, and I think that holds true not just for the luxury segment, but across. Would you agree, Okamoto-san? It's a buyer's market right now, or Vince, you agree?
Of course, we are now considering what kind of promotion is more effective now, more attractive to the customer. Of course, we are now considering. But of course, some down payment or the promotion is required. But on the other hand, taking this opportunity, we found many things. Even after lockdown, after ECQ, customer still less showroom traffic, but the service customer return to the outlet. So we recognize how important the customer retention and the service customer. So we want to more implement the service related promotion, the kind of the value chain package or the including insurance. Not only the physical discount, the more than discount. We are now shifting, considering to prepare such a enhancement of the customer retention from more mid long-term point of view. That is our thinking way.
I also heard that you guys are, of course, this is in addition to what Vince and Willie were saying earlier, that a big part of this recovery for the auto industry the role will be filled by banks. I mean, we cannot get around that. But in Toyota's case, you guys are making very affordable, or shall we say it, or friendlier packages in-house, right? Through your Toyota Financial Services. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah, Toyota Financial Services in-house our group company, and but for them now the bank approval is very severe and the down payment ratio is increasing. So the some of the Toyota Financial loyal customer, now we are preparing for the attractive financing program for such a customer. What is the customer benefit? We are now every time considering the finance program, down payment, including down payment, our interest ratio is one of them. There are many type of the customer benefit, including the margin promotion. What we have to do is prepare the wider range of the customer benefit.
Okay. Willie, you guys also have a promo, right? Promo sa different brands nyo. Can you share with us some of the more juicy discounts or friendlier packages there? You have zero down on a Rolls-Royce Phantom?
Oh yes. Actually, the premium segment has huge programs right now for our Lotus, even for our Rolls-Royce, and even for our Mini. The discount for a Mini up to 1 million in discount, no? And also we have upcoming programs and promos, not only for the premium brands but even for the other brands that we carry. Remember, happy Father's Day to everyone out there, including to all our panelists right now. We have a Father's Day sale this coming Sunday, and even the fast selling Vespa has a promo also, no? And so we basically need to entice the market, no, to keep on buying cars. That's why the banks play a critical role, as what we mentioned a while ago. Banks are very very important to us. I hope they can be wise enough to say that, look, for people who wants to buy a car, just like what Vince said a while ago, normally they would not buy a car if they cannot afford it, no. So those who want to apply or buy a car, I hope the banks will be more lenient and open-minded when it comes to that. And because as what we mentioned a while ago, it's a buyer's market right now. All the brands that we have, you can take a look at our website, my Instagram, my Facebook, all the promos are there. So I don't want to mention each and every brand, baka maubos oras natin, no.
Masyado marami, Willie.
Yeah.
Now, si Vince, alam ko, you guys have very nice deals as well, right? You have zero down ba? Ganon? You were mentioning before?
Those down payments naman before COVID, it's already there. I think the best way to do around it is like what other countries are doing, like government giving coupons. I heard some countries government are giving discount coupons for customers to buy their car of choice. So it's gonna be a big help. In one country, I heard it's $1,000 per customer.
Wow.
So you will
Okay.
bring it to a dealer. The dealer will refund it from the government. I think it's the best thing to do right now because automotive industry or business is part of our ecosystem. We pay, Toyota and other brands, Nissan, they pay import tax. We dealers, we pay VAT. We pay trade. Customers pay, taxes as well, and we pay local government taxes. All those taxes. So I think government should also give incentives to the buyers to complete the ecosystem. We
Okay.
are economy drivers. This business, we are economy drivers.
Okay. Well, actually, this webinar was supposed to run for just 1 hour, but I was having so much fun with you guys. Anyway, we have one last question, and I want each of you to answer this. This one from one of our bosses in the Philippine Star, actually. So I have to ask this. Sorry. How soon do you see the recovery of the auto industry? Can we start with Mr. Okamoto? How soon
Oh,
do you see a recovery?
very difficult question, but we are now watching the reservation and the sales situation in June. How much percentage is coming from new demand? In May, the sales and the reservation almost coming from the pent up, the accumulated reservation or accumulated order. But in June, but dealer by dealer situation is a bit different. But some dealers, the 60% or 70% out of total reservation or total sales is coming after GCQ or modified ECQ. So it's very difficult to clearly reply when is it recovered. But the reservation and the sales in June is I'm now very carefully watching. Now, if the new demand after GCQ is higher percentage of the reservation or sales in this month, maybe we can have more hope than a yearly market projection. But as I mentioned, my bottom projection, my bottom line is 40% decline versus last year. But that is depend on the result of this reservation under June, reservation under retail sales in June. I hope the latter half of this year, the recovery speed is accelerated. That is what I hope. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Okamoto-san. Really, what do you think? How early can we expect, back to health? I mean, not siguro 100%, but what to you would be a nice nice recovery, like 60% of normal, 70%? And when would this be, more importantly?
I wish I would know when. That's the hard part, no? I think even the president of the Philippines do not know when it's gonna be resolved, no? There's so many cases coming in still every day. All I can say, probably, Cap, is we need to pray more. I think everybody needs to pray more
Amen.
so that the recovery will come back quickly. No, everybody is gonna be guessing. No, of course, everybody here in your panel wish that that recovery would come in as soon as possible. But realistically, I really don't know. We hope that the third quarter, but third quarter is a few days away. No, uh,
Yes.
so this whole second quarter is a mess. Um, Honestly, hopefully we could recover 70%, or 60 to 70% by the fourth quarter. The whole year, I honestly cannot predict anything right now. I want to be positive, but I want to be realistic as well. So it's hard. It's really hard. I'm sorry, I cannot give you an exact answer for that, Cap.
Okay. I understand. Now this guy, si Vince, alam ko very positive to eh. He's like he's been telling me that we should not despair, and actually we're on the road to recovery. How about you, Vince? What's the timeline like for you? What are you looking at? Are we gonna be back to health in like by the end of the year? Can we say everyone happy by the end of the year?
Because of my positivity, I'd like to look at it this way. I think auto sales never dropped. It only dropped because of easy. Everyone is one. So never, buyers will be there. It's only the shift of preference, what car to buy. And recovery will really depend on bank retail financing support. If the banks start supporting or approving, recovery will be soon. If you ask me, if they start approving, in 2 months, 3 months will be all recovering, at least 70 to 80%. Because as Okamoto-san was saying, the inquiries are there, the reservations, the new buyers are there. People just shifted their preference to other models.
Okay, well said. Cholo, how do you see it? How do you see this future for the auto industry playing out?
It's yeah, like everybody said, it's quite hard to pinpoint exactly when we are going to recover. Some studies actually base it on observations from China or from South Korea who have opened up their markets earlier. But I think for now, everybody's just hoping for a V-shaped recovery. But we have to plan for a U-shaped one. But all we can do is hope for a faster recovery for everybody. Hopefully, like what Vincent mentioned earlier, it's going to just be a shift of preferences and choices. But the purchases hopefully will still come.
Okay, thank you, Cholo. So again, thank you very much to our distinguished guests who took the time and effort to dress up for tonight. See, every one of us is looking spiffy and pogi, right, Okamoto-san? It's what time it is it already? And we're still looking very good. And,
Thank you.
like everyone else, I certainly hope that we will be seeing the continued recovery of the auto industry as Filipinos and businesses find their bearings again in this new normal. Please join us again next week for the second installment of our Mobility in the New Normal web series powered by the Philippine Stars Wheels. Thank you to our sponsor, Toyota Motor Philippines Corporation, our media partner, Business World Velocity, and to everyone who helped in one way or another make this webinar happen. And right before we say farewell, I'd like to call up everyone again. Can you show everyone again on the screen? I'd like to greet Okamoto-san an advance happy birthday. It's his birthday
Happy
tomorrow.
That's tomorrow.
Happy birthday!
Thank
Happy
you, thank you,
birthday!
thank you, everyone. Yeah, I become 52.
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
Okay. I was going to ask for age, but thank you for volunteering.
Yeah, thank you, everyone.
I'm turning
I'm
25.
from USA. Thank you. Thank you.
So
Thank you.
here's to Okamoto-san. Kampai.
I have no beer today, tonight,
No
later.
beer today. Okay. Next time we will
Next
all
time,
have.
next time.
Yes.
Yes,
So
yes.
again,
Thank you.
very
Thank
much
you, everyone.
to our guests, Willie, Cholo, Vince, Okamoto-san,
Thank you.
and to everyone who joined us tonight. Thank you very much. I hope that you enjoyed our time together and you learned a lot from this series. I'll see you again next week. On behalf of the Philippine Stars Wheels and Business World of Velocity, this is Cap Maceda Aguila, thanking everyone and wishing you a good night.
Get ready to go for all adventures. Presenting the Toyota Wigo. Like what you see? The Wigo's overall design has been updated to look sportier and advanced. Its enhanced exterior allows the Wigo to sport a stronger, dynamic front face, giving your ride some flair to its function. For that added edge on the road, these side design features create an expanded body appearance and center of gravity. When we go for sport, we go all out with Toyota Racing Development Design. Inspired by peak racing technology, innovation, and driven to higher performance, the TRD S package reinforces the Wigo's sporty physique to elevate your everyday drive. And adding to the existing color lineup is this stunning new yellow, radiating excitement at every angle. And because your safety on the road is a top priority, the Wigo is also equipped with safety features so you feel secure during your drive. The overall sporty accents remain consistent even as you enter the car. But the Wigo's beauty is more than meets the eye. Inside, it's well equipped with advanced features that not only look sleek, but also offers you a new level of convenience. Carefully designed so you can find everything within your reach, and often just a simple push of a button. So you can feel cool and confident as you go the distance. Exciting and sporty, giving you comfort as well as security. The Wigo aims to make your passion for life and for fun accessible and affordable. Now there's only one thing we can do with something this good. We go for it. The Toyota Wigo.